Hey guys, what's going on? So I finally took the plunge and bought the Tim Sykes letter. It's not much of a plunge because it's only $49. You can see the sales page on the screen right now. I'm going to go through it a little bit. I'm going to show you the first two picks that have come out. I'm going to talk about his new XGPT, which sounds awfully like Chat GPT, but it's an XGPT, which is his AI software for picking stocks. And I'm going to show you the first pick that it came up with, along with what else you get with in the $49 package. It's actually really good value. So I first started with Timothy Sykes. More than a decade ago, he was my first introduction, as he is with many people, into the world of stock trading. And so, over the years, I've noticed things have really gone more towards options trading for people. So they've gone away from these low-cost, volatile penny stocks and are going more towards options trading, which is interesting because you get similar gains, or you can get similar gains from these low-float, low-cost penny stocks than you can with options, but without all the problems that options have, right? So options have things like volatility can change the price of an option very quickly. If volatility drops, you can still lose even if the underlying goes in the right direction. So things like that, and things like theta decay also. So the value of the option that you're buying goes down over time, even if the underlying goes in the right direction. And at thetatraders.com, we actually use that to our advantage. So we actually sell options contracts to people, and then they pay the premium to us, and the option basically decays over time, and we end up keeping most, if not all, of the premium that they paid. So we're basically being the casino. So check out thetatraders.com. This is one of the best ways to make passive income, in my opinion. I've been looking at passive income, and I've so many different passive income streams. This is by far the best bang for your buck. So definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description where you can go through and look at our different tiers. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll leave my email in the description below as well. So definitely check that out. So like I was saying, the Tim Sykes newsletter is only $49 for a year, which is a bargain. And this is what he promises. So he talks about in his presentation basically a stock that could really do well this year. But also, what you really are getting here is 1 full year of the Tim Sykes letter. So every month you get 2 to 3 high confidence trading opportunities using his XGPT. This is patent pending. And so the first one came out. I'm going to show you that one. It's kind of a disappointment so far, but maybe I'm misunderstanding the trade. But so far, you get to see that in this video, which will be pretty interesting. I think it's kind of a weird system, but the cool thing is you also get access to this for basically 30 days money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can get your money back within 30 days. Basically just call them up and they give you a full refund, no questions asked. That's always good to see. And on these low end products, these $49 products, you really have nothing to lose. So it's pretty good. Overall, I'm pretty impressed so far, and I'm going to go through each part of the system. What I didn't expect to get access to was Catalyst X, which you already actually have access to, but it's pretty interesting because you get it and packaged in with this, and they don't even mention it on the page. The Catalyst X also gives you a trade every week. In fact, I think we've had 2 trades this week already from Catalyst X. So you're talking a handful of trades a month, so not a lot. But they've all been winners apart from the first XGPT hasn't triggered a buy yet. So let's dive into some of the details. So on this page, this is my login to the Timothy Sykes portal. This is what you get. So you get the XGPT alerts, which is 2 to 3 AI-driven alerts per month. I've only had one so far, but it's the first one ever of all time. By the looks of it, the other ones say test on them. So this is a brand new service. And I have high hopes for it. I think these are going to be pretty good. I think Timothy Sykes has been in the game long enough and been involved with AI technology and scanners and things for long enough. Things like stocks to trade, if you're familiar with that this is going to be a really good service. So I'm excited. The first one I'll show you in a minute, but I just want to go through kind of what else you get. So you get a lot for your $49. You get the monthly newsletter, so dive into the monthly updates where Tim Sykes discusses the current market environment. This can be valuable strategies for navigating it. Given that he's been trading for 20 years, think about 20 years, he was definitely already an experienced trader when I got into this like 12 years ago, so it must be something like that. You get market minutes with Tim Bowen. He's also a good trader, so he gives videos on that every week, which is interesting. I watched a few of them. You get every Wednesday afternoon, you get the watch list, which is pretty interesting. So it lists the key stocks to watch and provides valuable insights. So you're getting a lot for your $49 here, like a lot. The Catalyst X alerts, I didn't expect this to be included because they haven't included it in the sales page, which is silly. They really need to, because these are actually really good, and I'll show you the two that I've had so far in 2 days, which I didn't expect either. So it says get nearly weekly alerts. Maybe it's because this is really just starting, but I've had 2 in 2 days, and both of them have been big winners. I talked about the previous one yesterday, and then I'll talk about today's one in a few minutes as well. So you also get these courses. These are good if you're a new trader, but I don't want to sit through an 11.5 hour course with Tim Sykes. I've watched lots of his videos in the past. He tends to reuse previous stuff, so I'm not going to go through these courses. I'm enjoying getting back into the penny stock world. And by penny stock, like the last trade yesterday wasn't a penny stock, it was an $18 stock. This one today is a lot cheaper, so you'll see that in a minute. These other things are just courses as well. And then you get a 14-day trial to stocks to trade. So that might be of interest to people as well. Anyway, first of all, let's start at the top here. Let's look at the XGPT. So in the dashboard here, you can see this is XGPT here. And the first one that came out is this one up the top. The rest of the stuff is just testing. You can see it says ticker test, test, test. So this is the very first XGPT alert, and it was Overseas Shipping Group. So OSG was the ticker. And basically, it's interesting because you hit here and read more, and you can see like an overview of what they think. Now you can tell that an AI wrote this just because you can tell when AIs are writing these things. You can just tell, at least I can. So it says the risk associated with OSG is considered moderately low, supported by the company's strong strategic position and robust financials, which also contribute to favorable support and resistance levels for trading. The elaboration includes a specific trading strategy aimed at capitalizing. So you can tell, like, nobody speaks like this. Like, just nobody speaks like this. And so watch what happens when I click to see the full trade plan. So it turns into this thing that looks like ChatGPT. And you can see it working here. Scroll down a bit. It's similar to ChatGPT when you ask a question. It's giving you all the details about why it thinks OSG is a good trade. It gives the risk level, support and resistance. Support is $7, resistance level is $8.46. Trading strategy, given the favorable conditions, taking a long position in OSG is advisable. Blah, 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 blah. And so here's like the entry. It gives you, it even tells you how to allocate based on a $10,000 account. And then a conclusion. And you can tell this is all AI, obviously the way it's typing it out like this, but also OSG is poised for a positive trading experience, making it an advisable trade. Nobody speaks like that at all. The comprehensive analysis underscores the company's strong financial performance. Now here's the problem I have with this particular trade. So this is the very first one. I'm not going to judge based on this, but it gives the entry and exit details plus position sizes. So it wants you to enter at 85 and then exit at over $9 here, stop at 8.58. And so the position size 120 shares, that's based on the $10,000 account, so it's allocating, somehow coming up with this number of 11.29%. So again, this is XGPT, because nobody comes up with these exact precision to 2 decimal places about how to allocate. So risk reward ratio 1 to 1.3. So all very interesting. The problem I have is when I go to the OSG chart, go to the OSG chart here. So this was issued yesterday. So I'm just going to do like 1 day. It's very thinly traded. You can see this is a 1 minute chart. OSG is very thinly traded. Try and zoom out here. Okay, so this was issued, like if you look at we go to the actual email here. So if we go to OSG, actually it's not in here. It's in the Tim Sykes report. Let's see if it gives a time right here. Actually, don't see the time. Anyway, I think it was pre-market. It was pre-market because I remember looking at this and going, okay, we're already at 8.43, so you can see up here. And so far, all day yesterday and today, we haven't broken this 843 level, and it wants you to buy in at 885. So it's saying, you know, you want to buy around here, but so far we're nowhere even close to that. But here, and so it's saying like it was an overnight trade, which I thought was weird, but it hasn't broken and triggered a trade yet. So kind of disappointing if you were excited waiting for this first trade. Now it's a little bit ambiguous about what it means because it says it's an overnight trade opportunity. Confidence of 80%, so that's nice, but it hasn't actually triggered the trade yet according to the details. So I'll need to reach out to the support maybe and ask them, hey, when it says it's an overnight trade opportunity, does that mean it found it overnight and you just have to wait for it to trigger, or was it supposed to be just that one night and anything else doesn't count from going forward? If it's the latter of the two, then this is the first trade's a dud. If it is one where it basically means you can go in when it does trigger above that level, say it triggers tomorrow above 840 or 885, because the resistance is 846 at the moment. If it means that you can have to go in 885, you could set an alert and still trade this, right? I'll keep an eye on it, I'll keep you updated whether this actually triggers. But so far, trade 1 of XGPT has been kind of weird. But I like the detail it goes into. I kind of like a robot telling me what to do, so pretty interesting. Anyway, so that's the XGPT. Obviously, I'm going to keep a record of these because I want to kind of do a blog post and kind of get a feel for whether they're actually working. The very first trade that goes out hasn't triggered, and I don't know how to judge this yet. So that's kind of my summary on XGPT. I like it. It's the value for money is really high here, because if this is half decent, which I suspect it will be, you're also getting the Catalyst X, which has been pretty good so far. So I've had 2 of these, and that's all included in the $49. And I'll leave a link in the description where you can go and buy this for the $49 with the money back guarantee as well. So yesterday I talked about the HIMS. That was an $18 stock, so it did spike and worked out pretty well for Tim. And then this morning I was surprised to see another one, MGRX, so that's what we're looking at here for Catalyst X, which is cool. The thing is, this was pre-market, so you'd miss it if you were not up at the crack of dawn. That's Timothy Sykes' hallmark, though. He basically often does pre-market, low float, low priced penny stock scalps. And this one was definitely typical of Timothy Sykes. So you're getting a mixture here of $18 stocks for like the HIMS from yesterday, and also low float, low cost stocks like MGRX. So MGRX, this was the buy, and so basically bought 6,500 shares at 0.557, partial fill on this. And this is another stocks to trade breaking news play. So these are all stocks to trade. So I'll leave a link for the stocks to trade program, because you can do these yourself. You don't need to use this particular system, although this is by far the cheapest way to do it, to kind of get your beak wet into how to play these breaking news plays that Tim Sykes uses on stocks to trade. And so it had a big spike, and so he tried to catch some of that, and he did. He got about 12% of it. You can see he got from 0.557 to 0.625, and for small profits. Had more, but trying to do much of pre-market watch list. Took my eyes off this. And so the fact he was distracted on MGRX, this is typical Tim Sykes as well. If we go to the MGRX chart here, MGRX, just look at this chart. Get rid of the line, stupid line that I drawn. Switch back to this. Zoom in here. So the pre-market is the shaded area. And so I need to put this on a 1 minute because this happened fast. And that's the other thing with Tim Sykes, is people always complain that things happen too quickly, which is the value in learning the strategy yourself. He played this move from here to here, roughly, and he got 12%. But then look what happened later on. So we had to sell off pre-market. But then look at this thing. It doubled from his entry of about 0.55 all the way up to 110. So it actually doubled. So this is typical Tim Sykes, though. He takes a little chunk of the move and then the thing doubles. So good idea. I just don't think he played it particularly well. But I'm not going to criticize him too much because he's the multi-million-dollar trader, and he knows that sometimes just taking a bit of the pie is better than losing all. Like, he could easily have stopped out down here somewhere instead of taking the profits. So 12% is better than nothing. He doesn't know it's going to double. Nobody did, but it did on this news that came out. And so that was caught on the scanner. You get told by email. Very simple, very easy to understand via email or text. So that's kind of cool. You can get it by text as well. So it was spiking big on GLP-1 med news. Goal is to sell into 0.6 or 0.7s. Unreal market. Cut losses if no. So he doesn't actually tell you what the stop loss is. That's kind of something you have to figure out for yourself with these really volatile penny stocks. But if you're a bit tired of playing options, this is definitely a really good, I'd say, way to start playing penny stocks. This guy basically invented the penny stock newsletters. Definitely a huge pioneer in the field. Love him or hate him, he can be very annoying sometimes, but he does know what he's doing with a lot of this stuff. So I honestly think for $49 with a money back guarantee to get these XGPT alerts and the monthly newsletter and Catalyst X alerts, I think it's worth it for $49 for the year. So definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can go and buy this. So it'll take you to like this page right here. And you can go through it and see. I think $2.49 for the year would be more than fair as well. So $49 is pretty amazing. The premium XGPT access is going to be expensive, it sounds like. That's going to be pretty interesting to see. But just getting these sample trades is going to be interesting. So I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated because you can't really take it on one trade that hasn't triggered. But hopefully this is going to be something that's really interesting. The way things are moving, going towards AI instead of actual people. So if this somehow plugs into a stocks to trade system, then this could be something really worth checking out. So honestly, I would give it a shot. If you don't like it, just get your money back. It's pretty easy to do. So I'll leave this page in the description below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.